Okay, if you're in 7 Excel, we are working from the Advanced 2 textbook. And if you are in Math 8, we are working from the Course 3 textbook. We are doing lesson 2.3, and it can be found on pages 56 and 57. So today, we're going to be working on reflections. What is a reflection? Well, if this is our original figure, here's our y-axis, we're going to flip this over the y-axis. There we go. This is a reflection over the y-axis. So we flipped it over the y-axis. We also have a reflection over the x-axis. So we've taken the original figure and we've flipped it over the x-axis. So a good way to remember what a reflection is, we have a reflection, FL. It is a flip. So a reflection is a figure that is flipped over the x or y axes. Resulting in a congruent figure, a congruent image that has a different orientation. So a reflection is a figure that is flipped over the x or y axes, resulting in a congruent image, same size, same shape, that has a different orientation. That means it's not going in the same direction. So let's take a look at what that means. So here's our original figure. Here's our x-axis. And here's our image. The image is congruent to the original figure, but it's also the same direction. This is a slide. This is a translation. This is not a reflection. Let's take a look at another one. So here again, we have a congruent figure, same size, same shape, but it's in the same orientation. It's going the same direction. This is a slide, a translation. This is not a reflection. So here is my original figure, and I'm going to reflect it over the y-axis. I'm going to flip it over the y-axis. There we go. This is a reflection over the y-axis. It's congruent, it's the same size and shape, but it is not the same orientation. It has been flipped. And this here is a reflection over the x-axis. It's a congruent figure. It's the same size and shape, but it's not the same orientation. It has been flipped. So this is a reflection over the x-axis. Both images are a reflection. Both images are a reflection. Okay. So what does all of that mean? Okay. At the top of your paper, I want you to write reflection over the x-axis. If we're reflecting over the x-axis, our ordered pairs, our xy, becomes x negative y. And reflection over the y-axis. If we're reflecting over the y-axis, all of our ordered pairs, all of our xy's become negative x y's. So what does that mean? Okay, let's show you. Okay, we have our original figure. Our original figure is negative 1, 1, negative 1, 3, and negative 4, 3. This is our original figure. The book is going to ask us to reflect this figure over the y-axis. So they want us to reflect it over the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. We're reflecting it over the y-axis. So to do that, I'm going to take all of my original points, A, B, and C. Just like yesterday, we're taking our original points. And our transformation, our reflection over the y-axis, up here, if we're reflecting over the y-axis, each point becomes negative x, y. So I'm going to bring down that negative. Here's my x, negative 1, and my y is 1. So A prime is going to be positive 1, 1. Okay, A prime. This is our first image. So we bring down the negative. Our x is negative 4, and our y is 3. Excuse me. So B prime is going to be positive 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So this is B prime. And then C, we bring down this negative, is negative 1, and my y is 3. So C prime is positive 1, 3. Here we go. We have flipped the original figure over the y-axis. Our image is congruent. It's the same size and same shape, but it is not the same orientation. It has been flipped. Okay. Now the book could also ask us to take the original figure and to reflect this figure over the x-axis. To reflect the figure over the x-axis. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take all of our original points, A, B, and C. We're going to label them. Only this time, we're reflecting over the x-axis. So our transformation is x negative y. So that's what we're going to put up here, x negative y. So we're going to take each of these points. My x is -1. Bring down that -1. So my second image, A2, is going to be -1, -1. A2. Corresponding points. These are corresponding points. Okay. B, x is -4, bring down the negative, here's my 3. So my second image is going to be -4, -3. -4, this is B, okay? And then C, my x is -1, bring down that -3. So my second image is going to be -1, -3. -1, -3. Here we go. So now my image has been flipped over the x-axis. It is a congruent figure. It's the same size and same shape, but it is not the same orientation. It is going in a different direction. So let's do one more example. One more example. Okay, now in this example, the book is not going to give us a figure at all. They're just giving us a bunch of points, P, Q, R, S. -2, 5, -1, -1, -4, 2, and -4, 4. And they want us to reflect this figure over the y-axis, then draw the figure and its image. Okay, so they want us to reflect this figure over the y-axis. So up here, a reflection over the y-axis, xy, becomes -xy. Okay, -xy. Okay, so bring down my negative. I have -2, and my y is 5. So P prime is going to be +2, 5. Bring down the negative. My x is -1, and my y is -1. So Q prime is +1, -1. Bring down this negative. X is -4 and y is 2. So R prime is +4, 2. And then we bring down this negative. X is -4 and y is 4. So S prime is 4, 4. So we have reflected this figure over the y-axis, But then they want us to draw the figure and its image. Okay. -2, 5, -1, -1, -4, 2, and -4, 4. Okay. Now let's draw the image. 2, 5, 1, -1, 4, 2, and 4, 4. So we have reflected this image over the y-axis. We've reflected this figure over the y-axis, and here is the image. Then we drew it. So the image is congruent with the figure. It's the same size and shape. It is not the same orientation because it has been flipped. So this is what the book is going to ask you to do. The book is going to ask you, they will give you a figure, then ask you to reflect it over the y or the x-axis, or they will give you the points and then ask you to reflect over the x or y-axis and graph it. So that is what we are doing today.